The Red Pyramid and Dahshur Necropolis, Egypt's attempt to build the first smooth pyramid. Origins. The first pyramid in Egypt and possibly the world was built in the Saqqara necropolis for the pharaoh Djoser of the 3rd dynasty and was designed by Imhotep. Djoser and Imhotep's step pyramid was something completely different from the tombs of pharaohs prior and started a pyramid building craze that would continue on for decades after their death. It is thought that they were inspired to choose the shape of a pyramid after a sacred pointed stone called the Benben. The Ben stone is an important part of the Egyptian creation myth, as it was the mound that rose out of the primordial waters and where the creator god Atum created himself. The Ben stone represented the rays of the sun, and ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs who died reached the afterlife by traveling on sunbeams. But in a practical sense, the shape of a pyramid allows the weight of such a colossal building to be distributed evenly throughout the structure. The pharaohs expected to continue their divine status in the afterlife, so to prepare for the next world, they erected temples to the gods and massive tombs for themselves, filled with all the things each ruler would need to guide and sustain themselves in the next world. The pharaohs of the 4th dynasty are particularly famous and known for building pyramids as their tombs. Pharaoh Sneferu. As the founding pharaoh of the 4th dynasty, Sneferu is believed to have ruled from around 2613 to 2589 BC. He is believed to be one of the sons of the pharaoh Huni, who was the last ruler of the 3rd dynasty. He had numerous wives, but the one that would birth his eventual heir would be named Hetepheres. Under Sneferu's reign, there were several incursions into nearby Nubia and Libya to secure resources, material, and laborers for his immense building projects. Sneferu was also known to be a beneficent leader, but he is most famous for introducing innovations into how pyramids were built in Egypt, eventually building 3 pyramids of his own. Construction. The pyramids were primarily constructed of limestone rocks that had to be cut, quarried, and dragged by sleds and put in place by hand. These stones were massive and weighed in the tons. The thousands of people who worked on the pyramids are not thought to be slaves, however, as records show they had entire cities built to house them, and they lived and ate better than the average Egyptian at the time. In order to cut, sculpt, and place the blocks properly, the workers would have probably had to have been skilled laborers doing their annual service to the government. It is also neat to note that a lot of the pyramids are nearly perfectly oriented along the cardinal point of a compass, with each side facing north, south, east, or west. Meidum. The pyramid Meidum is thought to be the second pyramid ever built and was originally constructed to be a step pyramid similar to Djoser's pyramid, but was then modified later on, with the steps on the side being filled in with a limestone casing stone in an attempt to build a true smooth side pyramid. The pyramid is thought to have been started by the pharaoh Huni, but was then completed by his son Sneferu. The pyramid is projected to have stood at 301 feet tall, but now it currently stands at 213, as unfortunately a catastrophic collapse happened when the sides caved in on itself in antiquity. The pyramid, burial chamber, and mortuary temple was left uncompleted and in ruins, so Sneferu had to come up with another idea to make the perfect pyramid as his tomb. Bent Pyramid. Sneferu and his architects attempted to build another pyramid, and they started constructing at Dahshur. However, the engineers made a calculation mistake in the beginning. They started by building the base of the pyramid at a 54-degree angle, but there was too much structural weight being placed on the soft ground, which consisted primarily of sand, gravel, and clay. If they would have continued to build at this angle, the pyramid would have collapsed in on itself, so they made the adjustment and changed to a shallower 43-degree angle for the top half of the pyramid. This is why it gets the name Bent Pyramid, as the two different angles make the pyramid look like it's bent. What is unique and special about the Bent Pyramid is that it still has a large part of its original polished limestone casing stone. The majority of the other Egyptian pyramids' casing stones were taken in antiquity, but the ones from the Bent Pyramid were thought to have been too difficult and dangerous to steal due to the steep angle at the base. Though the pyramid was complete, Sneferu still wasn't satisfied with the ending and decides to learn from the mistakes of the last 2 pyramids to finally build the perfect smooth side pyramid, the Red Pyramid. Sneferu begins to construct his pyramid at a 43-degree angle. This pyramid is a little over half a mile or 1 kilometer away from the Bent Pyramid, but still in the Dahshur necropolis. Modern estimates say it took between 10 to 17 years to complete this pyramid, with the majority of experts leaning closer to a 10 to 11-year completion time. Once completed, the pyramid was considered to be a success as it was fully constructed, smooth-sided, and freestanding. The Red Pyramid gets its name from the material that was used to construct the pyramid, red limestone, and rises to 341 feet, making it the third largest and first smooth-sided pyramid in Egypt. Aftermath. Seneferu's architectural innovation served as a catalyst for later pyramid builders, especially with his son and successor Khufu and his Great Pyramid at Giza, and his grandson Khafre's Pyramid and Great Sphinx. As time progressed and ideology changed in Egypt, the monuments and tombs of the kings greatly decreased in size, as the focus of Egyptian ideology might have shifted from the worship of the king to direct worship of the sun god Ra. Though the age of the Great Pyramids might not have lasted forever in Egypt, their legacy and marvel still remains intact today and is arguably still one of the greatest achievements that mankind has ever accomplished. Thank you.